Hi guys, and welcome to today's video. I am super excited to be filming this video. To be real with you, I have refilmed this video already twice, but I really don't want to be putting content out there that I don't really like, so we're gonna film it again. But I have been really enjoying watching a lot of these June favorites as I find myself getting more into makeup, getting more into clothes, getting more into just things because I am a maximalist. I don't care. I don't care. I'm really liking to watch videos where people are talking about the things that they have enjoyed and like their suggestions and recommendations. So in today's video, I'm going to talk to you guys about some of the things that I have loved in June. I think the first thing I'm going to do is makeup because makeup is always the stuff that I feel like I can talk about forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. So first up, this baby. This, and if I say it wrong, correct somebody else. I'm sorry. I don't know how to pronounce it. But the way that it's spelled is the Sachu lip liner. It's a tattoo lip tint. I actually have it on right now. It's in the color Clover. Hopefully you guys can see that if it focuses. Hold on one second. Okay, there we go. It's in the color Clover. It is their darkest color of the lip tints that they have. And I really like it. For me, I feel like it's not so cool toned. It's not like super cool toned. It's not super warm toned either. It feels pretty neutral on me. And I love this stuff. I put it on. My problem with a lot of lip liners is I have yet to find a lip liner that is actually darker than my natural color because naturally I have two-tone lips. So finding a lip liner that's darker than my natural color has been really difficult. A lot of them are the same color, if not lighter. So it doesn't really do anything for me. It doesn't really line my lips, but this stuff is amazing. Another thing that I've really been liking, and I actually have this on today, is this e.l.f. It's the e.l.f. bite-sized eyeshadow. Now, e.l.f. has a lot of these in different colors. This is the one that I use like for everyday looks. Just enough, like it's just all the colors you would need for like a smoky eye. So you have like the shimmer here, you have your base color, and these two at the end are the colors that I usually like to smoke out my eye with. Another thing that I'm also wearing today is the lip bar. I love this stuff. I've wore this stuff for like over a year. Same deal. I just stopped wearing it because I got out of makeup for a time and now I'm back into it. I love this stuff. It's a 3-in-1 tinted skin conditioner is what they call it. It has SPF 11 plus hyaluronic acid. Hopefully I pronounced that right. But I love this as a substitution for foundation. I don't really like foundation. I don't like the way that it settles into my pores. I don't like how it, makes my texture look like more than what it is. It's not for me. And I used to use concealer for a long time in place of foundation, but then I was kind of like not really vibing with that either because I was like, I'm still getting like that cakey look. I like this because this goes on like it is like just a tint and it's very buildable. I would say it's medium to full coverage depending on how much you want to put on. Last but not least, okay, and this is the last thing that I've really liked in June for makeup. This is the Flower Seal the Deal. You guys can see it. Hopefully it focuses. Okay, cool. It is the Flower Seal the Deal. It says it's a long-lasting setting spray. Honestly, I use this more as a fixing spray because that's what I feel like it really shines. You can use it as a setting spray, but what I mean by fixing spray is if during the day I'm looking at my face and I'm like, oh, like I either feel like I need to blot or powder, sometimes I'll just spray with this because it has a powder finish. And I feel like it does work for setting sprays, but I feel like I like the Charlotte Tilbury setting spray a little bit more than this. Actually, I like using these together. Let's be so real. I like using these together. But so it says it locks in makeup and it's a lightweight mist that creates a sweat-proof and rub-resistant barrier that maintains your makeup for a just applied look that lasts all day. I would say that's true. It gives you like a powdered finish, which I really like. It does have fragrance, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but I feel like I cannot find a setting spray or a face mist in general these days that doesn't have fragrance. And I don't know what the deal with that is. I don't know when we collectively decided that our face needed to smell like a Bath and Body Works.
What the hell is even that?
That to me is definitely like a con of this product because again, acne, oily prone, for me, fragrance, I don't like the idea of it because it just makes me feel like I'm gonna get pimples, even if that's not true. Anyway, I do really like this stuff. I do feel like it works. I do feel like I get more wear out of my makeup than I would if I didn't have a setting spray. So I really like this stuff. Now I'm gonna go into skincare as well because now I'm like thinking about skincare. So I recently started to use this. Now, a little bit of backstory. I've never really used to be a toner person. I have really, really bad PTSD from when I was in middle school, and I would use like that witch hazel as a toner, and it would just dry my face out, make it so red and itchy. Like I literally couldn't even like move my face because it was so dry. And so since then, I have not bothered with a toner. I have not picked up a toner. And I have been seeing a lot of hype around Snell Mucin and a lot of hype around toners in general, especially if you have oily skin. And I was like, you know what, man, I don't know about all of that. I don't think that's for me, right? But again, I was having a lot of issues with my makeup and texture. And every single time I was doing research, they were like, do you tone? And I was like, no. And they were like, okay, did your makeup look like crap? And I was like, yes. And I was like, well, that's because you don't tone. And I was like, okay, fine. I'm gonna try a toner, right? Now, I ain't even gonna hold you guys. I'm not gonna hold you guys. This stuff is all that it's cracked up to be. I have only used it for about a week and a half. And I don't want to hype it up too much. I don't want to get too excited. I don't want to get too like holy grail. But it's feeling like that's what it's about to be. I'm gonna give it a couple more weeks before I'm like, okay, yeah, like I'm gonna need 50 of those, before I like start like back rolling it and just buying a bunch just to have. But I really do feel like this works. And it's called Snell Rescue. It's by Peach Slices. It's the blemish busting toner. And it has 95% of Snell Mucin. It's supposed to clarify and strengthen your skin for giving it that clear, even finish. The thing that I like about this thing the most is just how much better my texture looks, how much smoother my skin looks. And I do feel like I do feel like it fights a lot of my blemishes. Now, on the same vein of skincare and makeup and all these things, this is the e.l.f. Holy Hydration Makeup Melting Cleansing Balm. I love this stuff. Now, you might be asking yourself, okay, Michaela, why can't you just use coconut oil? Why can't you just use shea butter? Like, why can't you just use like regular oil to take off your makeup? And to that, I say, because I want to use this. Like, you could do that for sure, but I want to use this. I like this because when you put it onto your face, it like when it blends out, it kind of blends almost into like a foamy, soapy texture. And I feel like it really does get the makeup off. I don't feel, because sometimes when I use like oils and stuff, I feel like it's clogging my skin. I feel like it's just too heavy. And even like when I wipe it off, I still have the makeup on my skin as well as now these thick butters and oils that I'm using. So I feel like it's counterintuitive. I don't feel like it's really getting the makeup off, right? When I use this, I feel like it all comes off. And I love, again, that it's so tiny and small that I can just throw it in my purse. So there's never an excuse not to wash my face. Like, ever. Like, ever. So, I love that for me. And so that's everything that I've been really liking in June as far as skincare is concerned. I think what I want to get into next is technology, like tech I really liked, and games, because we like a game or two over here. We definitely do. All right. First thing I'm going to talk about is what I'm talking to you guys in right now are these wireless Me microphones. So, funny story about these things. I was really, really into these things about a year ago, and I bought them, right? And when I bought them, they did not come with a user guide or a user manual or nothing. And so I had just automatically assumed that these things were like some sort of hoax, and because I couldn't get them working. They would not pair. Every single time I tried to film with them, like I would get all my content ruined because it would just be like muted or it'd be like really, really bad quality, right? So I was like, okay, maybe I just got like a bad batch, because literally every single time I opened my phone, everybody was using these wirelessly Me microphones and they had beautiful crisp audio. And it was actually really pissing me off because I was like, wait, Y'all gonna play in my face like that? So I sent these microphones back, and they're like, hey, since you didn't enjoy your purchase, like, we want you to be happy, so you can keep the microphones that you bought, and we're gonna send you a new pair. And I was like, well, shoot, you guys, you didn't have to do all that, but they did all that, and I was really, really happy about it because they were really, really like, they're really, really nice, and I was like, whoa, like, yeah, like, I'm sorry, man, like, it happens. So they sent me another pair, and I was still having issues getting it working, but then I realized it was just me, like, I was just being a dumbass, and so I figured it out, and as most things are, it was super duper simple. Like, I watched a YouTube guide, and he walked me through the whole thing, and I was set up in less than like 15 minutes. And I felt really stupid because I just was walking around here like letting these mics just sit because I couldn't like figure it out. And it was like the most simplest thing. So now that they're working, I love them. I love them so much. The next thing is this power bank. I love this power bank because I used to be the 1% girly. I used to be the girl who would go around, her phone would die. And recently I had went to go see Kendrick and SZA in concert. Tell me why I got to the stadium and I was at 15% battery, and like 3 songs in, my phone died. Yeah. So it was no pictures, it was no video, it was no nothing, because it had finally caught up to me. All my life I've been a 1% phone. My phone has always been on 1%, and it has never devastated me like it devastated me that night in the stadium with the dead phone, watching everybody around me literally use their flashlight for all of the lights. Meanwhile, my phone is dead, so I can't even participate. Like, I think that that's going to be one of those core memories for me because it was something that was so avoidable and something that I could have fixed a long time ago before that. But again, I fuck around too much. So I never go anywhere without having my own power, because you will never catch me slipping ever, ever again. You caught me once, you won't catch me twice, okay? And the thing that I love about this power bank that makes it different from a lot of the other power banks is that these actually have the cords set in them. So again, I carry this in my bag, and I feel really happy that I don't have to bring like the cord itself. Okay, last but not least, well, this is technically 2 things in one. We're gonna talk about my Switch because I'm getting back into my Switch and I love my Switch. Okay, cool. This is my Switch. Say hi. I haven't named her yet, but let me know down below any suggestions for my Switch. Okay, so I used to play Switch a lot. I used to do a lot of 2-player games, and then I became single. So I wasn't playing my Switch a whole bunch because it was something that I enjoyed with my ex, so it was kind of ruined for me. But nah, we're reclaiming that in 2025 because the Switch is lit and no one's gonna take that from me. So I went out and I bought a case because visually it looks like a new Switch. And so it feels like a new Switch. So I got this pink case. So that's one of the tech things that I really, really enjoy. And then I also really, really like my Switch itself. So I had started playing The Walking Dead during the pandemic. Yeah, I really love The Walking Dead. You should play it. It is a single player game, but it's one of those, I'm more of a story game person anyway. So it's one of those games where like your choices determine like what happened in the story, what will happen in the story. And it centers around this character in the first season. His name is Lee. I cry a little bit every single time I think about Lee, but for the purposes of this video, we're just going to proceed on. You're in the middle of an apocalypse, a zombie apocalypse, and you get tasked with the responsibility of taking care of this little girl named Clementine, right? It's up to you to, teach her how to survive in this new world, even just teach her about like becoming a woman, like all these pubescent things. Like, you're just her guardian, right? In this game. And while you're still trying to overcome your dark past, you're now like tasked with essentially the future, because children will be the future of this apocalyptic world, and your choices do determine what she will grow up to be. Okay, so that's the premise of the game. I don't want to say too much because it's just spoilers, but that's the premise of the first game, right? Mind you, there's 4 more games after that. 4 or 5 more games, if I'm not mistaken. Cool. Love it. You'll love it. It's very cinematic. It's very well written. The story is great. Okay, so the next thing, is that everything for tech? Oh my god, did I clear? Did I clear? You guys, I think I cleared. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is I'm gonna talk about media, I'm talk about movies, I'm gonna talk about music, okay? And I got my little book here. So, ooh, it's falling apart because she's well loved. Okay, so I'm gonna be, if I'm looking down, that's because I'm looking at my notes. Okay, so first things first. I have been rewatching Girls, and if that is any indication of where I'm at mentally, I don't know what else is. It's on HBO, and if you haven't watched it, you should. Because listen, I have never been a Sex and the City type person. I did like Insecure, but something about Girls that just like really scratches a part of my brain, and I think it's because I'm messy. I think it is because I'm messy. I'm a messy girl. I love a messy girl trope. Like, I do. I like girls who just let it all hang out, who are messy and don't try to be perfect. Like, I really like that in that writing. So I have been rewatching Girls. And I've been bouncing around. Like, I haven't been watching it in order because I've rewatched Girls so many times. I know what I want to see and what I'm looking for. Okay. So I've been like watching the episodes out of order. I rewatched Panic in Central Park. I did because I love Charlie. Like, oh my God. I love me some Charlie. I'm not even gonna hold you. Like, Charlie is just like. So I did rewatch that one, and whenever I need to cry, I watch that, and I feel like it's like very, very helpful. Like, it's just like, yeah, like that's what I needed, you know. So I'm rewatching that. I rewatch High Fidelity. I love High Fidelity. I feel a type of way that they canceled that show, especially because it like ended on a cliffhanger. I really just like the premise of the show. Basically, Rob is a record store owner. She just got out of a long-term engagement. And so she's going down her list of like her 5 top heartbreaks, trying to understand like what went wrong in her relationships so that she doesn't like repeat it, right? Like she's trying to like unearth things about herself. While in the while trying to understand like while she's trying to understand why her life is so messy, she's also being messy. Like it's perfect. Like while she's trying to like understand what went wrong in the past, she's doing things in the present to make her future like get fucked up, if that makes sense. And you know, I just feel really seen when I watch that show, and I really quite enjoy it. I enjoy the characters. It's very funny. It gives me a good laugh, and it makes me feel like things are gonna be okay. And I also like the soundtracks. Like the music in that show is really, really good, and the style. Chef's Kiss. I feel like 90% of my Pinterest is just Rob, and Zoe and what she was wearing in that show. Y'all bringing about just everything else back. Like, why can't y'all bring back High Fidelity? Like, be so for real. I've also rewatched Fight Club. I'm sorry, like, Fight Club is probably one of my favorite movies. I don't know why, but it does it for me. I mean, it does it for me. I've rewatched Fight Club more times than I am comfortable admitting. Let's just put it that way. And I also really like the fashion in that movie. More specifically, all the outerwear that Brad Pitt's character was wearing. Now, as far as music. So I'm a big fan of the 1975. Yeah, and I have been re-listening to Notes on a Conditional Form because I feel like y'all did Notes so dirty. Like, I feel like out of all the albums, Notes was the one that people like often say is the worst album of the 1975. Now, mind you, this came out during the and there was a lot of things going on. And I feel like I didn't even really give Notes the time it deserved. Like, I didn't really sit with Notes either. I was kind of just over it. I was over everything. And I remember when People came out, People was such like a far cry from my favorite album, which is I Like It When You Sleep, for You're So Beautiful Yet So Unaware of It. Like, that's like my favorite album by them. Like, untouchable, that's number 1 for me. But anyway, I heard People and I was like confused, and so I was like, all right, there's a lot of things going on right now, I'll come back to it. Well, this is me coming back to it. I've listened to the whole album, and let me tell you, it's not bad at all. Like, I really like Notes, and there's a lot of songs on Notes that I didn't know were on Notes that I really thought were singles because I'm stupid, and they were from Notes. There's a lot of good stuff on there, and People's actually a good song too. I just needed to hear it more. I just needed to tune my ear to it. because first listen is just very like, ah, and you're like, whoa. Second listen, you're like, okay. Third listen, you're like, yeah, 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 yeah. Fourth listen, you're like, people love people who want a lot of people. Like, you know, it's one of those things. Last thing that I'm talking about is books, because I've actually been reading this month and it's been shocking me, but I've been enjoying it. I've been getting back into reading, and I just want to talk to you guys about some of the stuff that I've been reading. This is actually really exciting for me because I have been out of reading for a little bit. Actually a lot of it, because I just have not found books that I've really enjoyed. But in school, I used to read all the time. Like, it was really easy for me to read. And with me wanting to become an author, it's kind of crazy that I don't read. And so I've been trying to get back into it. Books that I really have enjoyed have been like young adult fiction. I like romance. I do like nonfiction sometimes, depending on the subject, but that's typically the books that I enjoy reading. So for me to get back into reading, I was like, okay, I need to pick up a tried and true, because the thing that got me into reading was young adult. So I need to go back to young adult. I need to go back to what was working, and just start there. And you know what? Suzanne Collins, she never misses. She never misses, you know. And I've been reading Sunrise on the Reaping. And let me tell you, if I was still, you know, trying to get some AR points, this book will get me into the pizza party, because I've been reading this book all the time. Can't put it down. I even have like little notes as well. It's so good, y'all. And you know, I picked up this book because I know that the movie is coming out, and unlike Songbirds and Snakes, I actually wanted to have read the book before I watched the movie. Like, I wanted to do it the right way. And I really enjoy myself. This is Haymitch's backstory. I'm not gonna go too much into it because I don't want to spoil it, but it's really, really good, and I recommend you getting it. And I feel like what's so crazy is like I always end up like reading books that like mirror what's going on in my life, or even in a bigger scale, like what's going on in the world. And this book hits the head right on the nail as far as like dictatorships and regimes and old white men being dickheads. So, type shit. Pick it up, read it, you'll love it, you won't regret it. This next book is also something I've really been enjoying. It is by Amanda Gorman, and it's a poem book. It's a poetry book. It's called Call Us What We Carry. I've really enjoyed reading this book. This book kind of reads like a time capsule for me, because these poems are written and now that, I mean, it definitely hasn't stopped spreading, but like now that we're not like full in lockdown anymore, I find it really interesting to kind of like go back and like think about like what that was, because that was like so crazy and wild. Like, sometimes for me, it's hard for me to kind of like think about things when I'm in the moment. So I often reflect like later on. And so this book, I'm like, yeah, like I read the poems from this book and I'm like, yeah, like I remember that anxiety. I remember that angst. I remember like that sadness, because like all of a sudden one day everything just stopped. Like the world just stopped, right? And I don't think people understand like how significant that was, especially like for young people, because I didn't graduate. Like, I had a drive-through graduation, and like all these things that I was looking forward to, like going to college, all these things taken away from me overnight. Right. And so like I really do feel like I was on pause and I lost like 3 years of my life. So reading this book has been really, really good, because it feels nice to be seen. Last book is called Here for It. This is a memoir. No, sorry. This is an essays book. I'm tripping. By R. Eric Thomas. The reason why I really like this book is because I had a very similar upbringing to this author, and I just think, he's funny. Like, I just think he's hilarious the way that he like puts together, like being from two different worlds. You know, like being from like suburbia, but also like being from like, well, for me in my case, like I grew up in LA and like Crenshaw and those areas, and then we moved to Santa Clarita after we had like some really bad. How do I put this that's appropriate for YouTube? Our area essentially was just dealing with really bad in our neighborhood, drive-bys, that sort of thing. And it freaked out my mom. She pulled a French Prince of Bel-Air on me, and overnight I was in the suburbs. So anyway, I can really relate to this author because I've had a similar upbringing, and I think he's funny. I enjoy his essays, and the things that he talks about are really real too. It's like humor, sure, but like he's also talking about stuff that's really important, like race and sexuality and just all these things, becoming like all these things. And so I think it's really, really nice. And so those have been the books that I've been going through this month. So those are all the things that I really enjoyed in June. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know down below if you like to see similar videos like this. Like, should I do one for July? Because I do have some things that I've liked in July as well. So let me know down below. And also drop down below too what things you've used in June that you really, really liked. Because I would like to know what you guys are using, whether it be books, media, tech, makeup, whatever it is, because I just find that really fun. Like, share it with me down below. Like, don't gatekeep, girly. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Yeah, peace out. I really feel like this one is the one. I feel like I'm not gonna have to re-record this video again, and I'm so excited about it. So see you guys next time.
Just one